even if I look at the people he cheated with. I'm like, oh, okay, this girly too, not her.
Not her.
Of all the girlies, I have never been a gold digger. I don't need a man to make me money or to give me money or whatever it is. It's a nice bonus. It's cute. You know, you get cute bags and shoes and whatever it is. But bags and shoes are not the bottom line of life. So I had to then pull back and say, okay, we can't. I love you, but we cannot. And my kids need to come first.
The show is Engineer Your Life, and I'm Lungelo, KM. I'm not going to make this intro long because I know you guys don't want to hear much of what I have to say. Because you clicked on this particularly because you're like, what is Lungelo even saying? Just get to the point. Like, why is he even talking? But before we get to that point, there's something exciting that I want to tell you guys. We're hosting our very first Young Professionals Connect on the 23rd of August. In partnership with Mini Cooper Umhlanga. I'm very excited. Just click on our website for EYLshop.africa and you can find out how you can reserve your seat. Now, let's get into what you want. Annie, I'll refrain from using a surname and you'll tell me later which one I can use.
Oh my gosh.
I'll say Annie for now. Let's keep it there. Is that fine?
That's fine.
That's fine. Annie, we've done this before.
Yes.
But we're doing it now bigger, better, and at a different level.
Yeah.
How's your heart today?
Oh no, I'm cool. I'm very calm.
You're very calm?
Chilled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hasn't always been that way,
No.
obviously.
No.
It took a lot of work to get here.
100%.
Ne? A lot?
A lot of work. I mean, a lot of internal work, a lot of self-reflection, you know, and recalibration. So, yeah.
Whew. The last time we had a chat, you were in a very different season in your life.
Yes.
You were still living in Durban.
Mm-hmm.
You were still very much married.
Mm-hmm.
You were still very much in the nuclear setup with your husband.
Yes.
You were on television. You were on The Real Housewives of Durban.
Mm-hmm.
And all of that has pivoted.
Yeah.
A lot of that has changed. And some of it has not changed by your own choice, but it's been circumstantial.
100%.
Where you've had to take hard decisions because life just brings us to that space. Why have you been silent, firstly, for so long about these changes?
I think I had to process everything that I was going through first. You can't just sort of speak. I don't want to speak from an overly emotional space. And also, you don't want too many people in your life while you're trying to figure out your life. You know, you just want to have time and space to yourself, get yourself back together, and then say, okay, I can share myself with you now.
True. I get that because not all the time, but most times in silence, that quietness and stillness allows us to process.
It definitely does. It allows you to process. It allows you to sort of plan as well. But besides that, you cannot remain silent. Because you then allow people's narratives to take hold, not to take hold of you, but to sort of take over what you're trying to sort of do for yourself.
Yes.
So when you're silent, people take it upon themselves to decide what exactly is happening to you, how it's happening, who it's happening with, you know, and also there's like a little stigma about women who need to be silent. You know, who need to
be humble,
be
a wife,
be a wife, be silent,
be dignified. There's dignity in hiding things.
Yes, there's dignity in your silence. There's not dignity in your silence. There's definitely not. But you have to be strong enough to share what you're going through. You have to be strong enough to reach out to other people. And when you don't have that strength, you will be silent.
Why did you leave the TV show?
Okay, you. Okay, so when I had left, obviously, I think then the sort of breakdown of my life had started, you know. Um, my husband, I think at the time just felt like everything that we were going through did not need to be publicized. And there were cracks already on TV, you know, there were cracks you could see. Um, and you could, well, if you were paying enough attention, you could see certain things, you know. And yeah, so he was just like, no, we're not doing this again.
Yeah,
Let us
yeah,
recoup in silence. You
yeah,
know, let's
yeah,
see
yeah.
what's happening. Let's deal with this as a family at home. No one needs to be involved in our lives. No one needs to be in our house, because when you're shooting, they're in your house, you know. Um, and yeah, I think he was just like, we need to sort of protect the family at this time. So leave the show.
This is a paid advertisement from BetterHelp. You know, sometimes I find myself just scrolling and scrolling through my phone looking for wellness content, and really sometimes it just gets overwhelming. Why does it get overwhelming? It's because one post tells you to meditate, another says try cold plunges. Then you're told to start a gratitude journal in the middle of all of this. Wait. And then you must also go through a digital detox. But how? Because you have to keep up with inspirational social media. It's all just a lot. And in the middle of all the noise, it's easy to forget that wellness is not a one size fits all. What helped me find clarity amongst all this overload and helped me focus was therapy. Truly, that's where therapy came in for me, and it worked. Whether you, though, have been to therapy or not, I think we can all agree that talking to someone, especially a professional who's trained to help you navigate life's messier moments, can be a game changer. Therapy is not just for people in crisis. Please get that right. It's for anyone who wants to set healthy boundaries, build confidence, or simply grow into the best version of themselves. BetterHelp has over 5,000 therapists in the United Kingdom, and more than 5 million people have been helped worldwide through BetterHelp's services. It's the largest online therapy platform in the world, on the planet even, and it's very convenient. You can join a session with a UK therapist at the click of a button, helping you fit therapy into your busy life. The BetterHelp app is rated 4.9 out of 5 stars in the App Store with more than 1.7 million reviews. So clearly it's helping a lot of people feel seen, feel lighter, feel supported, feel love, and feel like they've given the attention that they deserve. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Talk it out with BetterHelp. Our listeners, you engineers from Engineer Your Life, get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/engineer your life. I'll repeat that so that you can start typing. It's betterhelp.com/engineer your life. Continue enjoying the episode.
On those last few weeks of shooting in that year, on the season you were on, I think it was season 3?
Yeah.
Season 3. On those last few weeks of shooting where you were giving us an Annie who's bold, who loves who she is,
Yeah.
who's glamorous.
Yes.
Were you happy at that on those moments?
No, I wasn't. I was pretending. I was struggling with so much internally, and I had this thing that I had to perform strength, or like, you know, just be strong, be this person that I've been from season 1 or whatever, stand my ground. But I think you could see, like I said, you could see the cracks. I mean, the breakdown with Jojo, I pride myself on not being like overly emotional. And I broke down on TV, and for me that was like a oof, you know. And and Jojo was a friend that I had sort of made a year before.
Sure.
So why am I so highly emotional?
Charged.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it wasn't just that. There were lots of things happening around that, but I think the emotions were overwhelming. So yeah, it was difficult.
I'm going to get to the hard parts now.
Okay.
When did you accept that my marriage is no longer beautiful?
Wild. I think that's a little bit of a hard question. In marriage, you accept that you're going to come across certain, things that are going to be difficult for you to deal with. And I don't think it makes marriage not beautiful. I think that when you invest in someone, you say, I'm going to go through the hard things with you and also the good things. So we had amazing times together. Like my husband and I, we did so many fun, amazing things. Like really, we had really beautiful moments, really, really beautiful. And when the hard times come for me, it didn't make our relationship less beautiful.
I get you.
It just said, okay, this is something that we have to deal with. I think the sort of breaking point for me was losing myself trying to save
The marriage.
Yeah. And remember, I have little kids.
Sure.
They're like babies. So when I started sort of losing myself, chasing my marriage, trying to keep everything together, I stopped paying attention to my kids because now I'm focusing on keeping my husband and myself together, and they didn't deserve that. And they saw a lot of things that they should never see as a child. I think that, Kholo said that he wasn't going through alcoholism at the time. And I think in Black families or in families of color, we allow children to grow up in households of alcoholism.
Sure.
Like
it's like, dad drinks. Norms, the norm.
Yeah. And even when they're facing like very toxic things in that environment, you say, it's still our dad. And I think women, I don't know if it's like
shields the man.
They shield the man, and even though their kids go through certain things, they're still trying to shield their husbands.
Yeah.
But you should be shielding your kids first. And that was when I was like, okay, I'm losing myself. My kids are not in the right space. My husband is not in the right space. I have to make a decision now. I need to make sure my kids are my priority at this point. My husband cannot be my priority anymore, And I think I was like, he has his own demons to fight. I'm going to have to let him fight them because I tried for many years
to fight with him. Yeah.
And we weren't winning. And I realized this is his personal battle.
Sure.
And, you can pray, like you can be the praying wife. You can pray every single day. You can, do all kinds of things to try and hold everything together. But when someone has their own battle that they have to fight that battle, unfortunately. There's really not much you can do. God calls you into the world sort of alone and he gives you a purpose. And I think Kholo has a very strong purpose, and I think that's why he has so many attacks. And one of the things I think he has to deal with is sort of like his addiction and things like that, and that is a very personal battle. I can't fight.
You can't fight for him there.
I can't fight for you there.
You might have tried to fight in the marriage with him somehow, somewhere, but you're saying that in thinking you are fighting as a spouse, you lost Annie.
I lost myself, but more than that, it pushed him away. Because I'm now getting upset on your behalf. Don't do this. Why are we doing this? Like, let's bring ourselves together. Let's manage ourselves. We're fighting. Now, I'm fighting for you, but I'm fighting with you for you. And it doesn't work out. You end up pushing the person away. He then needed shelter from me.
Sure. Protection from you.
From fighting his own. He's fighting his own battle.
Yeah.
But because now I'm getting frustrated because I cannot reach you the space that you're at the moment. I'm fighting for you, but I'm fighting you.
Because I want my husband back.
I want my husband back.
Yeah.
But I'm fighting with you to get you back. It's counter, productive. It doesn't work. He needed I think he needed peace.
Do you feel you were toxic in those moments when you were trying to fight for him? 100%.
100% became toxic. And this is also why I said my kids were then introduced to an environment that they should never have sort of been in.
A severely toxic environment where they shouldn't witness the things they witness.
100%.
Yeah.
So I had to then pull back and say, okay, we can't. I love you, but we cannot. And my kids need to come first. So we need to get out of this space. And then you need to work on you or deal with yourself, Yeah.
he also seems to be on a journey of self-discovery at the moment, where he's owning up to his mistakes, to an extent. And he also speaks about something that you protected so much, even on television, which is the infidelity. Did that also break you as much as we think it should break a person?
Yeah.
Or were you also covering that too?
Yeah, man. I mean, no one likes to be cheated on.
Yeah.
Right? It makes you question yourself a lot. Are you enough? Is there something wrong with me? Why can I not be enough for you? And in admitting that I was being cheated on, I felt like I was saying I was not good enough.
Sure.
So while people told me, they come with all of their stories and stuff, some were true, some were not true, but when you're in a space where anything can be true, you don't know what to believe. So I was also losing my mind.
Absolutely.
You
were like, and fighting him, obviously.
And
it's
fighting
like,
him.
What's this now?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was highly embarrassed. I was not in a good place. And I just wanted to protect all of us from this, even though I was not being protected, obviously, because everybody knew things that I did not. I just wanted to protect myself, protect my children, protect our family. Because at that point, even though I knew that, he was doing his thing, I still wanted us to be a family.
Have you reconciled, though, that it's got nothing to do with your beauty, your being, your truth, and your power when a person cheats on you?
Oh, 100%. Because even if I look at the people he cheated with, I'm like, oh, okay, this girly too, not her.
Not her.
I'm all the girlies. But yeah, no, I've definitely reconciled that,
Sure.
even now, like, I think I've sort of come into a space where I'm just like, if someone cheats, it is their sort of, it's on them. And it's their responsibility to decide how they're going to manage themselves moving forward. I don't believe that infidelity is the
ultimate breaker.
Breaker. But it needs to be handled appropriately. I feel like there's a certain level of respect that a man has for his wife even when he's not faithful, the wife does not know. And that takes a lot of sort of, I don't know what the word is. And guys, please, I'm not saying infidelity is okay.
Sure.
I'm just saying that.
Look, I get what you're saying. You're being nuanced and realistic, right?
Yes.
There are people who fight us for even saying this.
Yeah.
You're being realistic that in this world, there are people, and probably the majority of people are going to be cheated on.
100%.
So because you are empowered with that knowledge, how am I going to move forward and approach it?
And especially for other relationships,
Yes.
Because I don't intend that I'm not going to, or that I'm going to be single or
forever.
Forever. I also want to find the right relationship for
Sure.
myself, and I have to be very realistic around that in terms of how do I deal with this moving forward, because I cannot crash out the way that I was crashing out previously. Can we be mature adults? In our relationship? Yes, I cheated. Let's have the conversation around it and see how we're going to go moving forward. Actually, can men just tell us what is it that you want from the relationship? I feel like this is really important. I feel like if I had the opportunity to know that you are polyamorous,
then I'm empowered with that knowledge.
Yes. So now when it comes back, oh, your husband is here. No, it's fine.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let him do his thing. He's
Sure.
having fun, or he's getting out whatever
Sure.
of his system that he needs to get out.
Sure.
But don't pretend that you are a perfect man and make me sort of believe in our
oneness
where
there's no one else.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I get shocked along the way with information about what you're actually doing outside. And I also think honesty is something that's very important. Like, I believe that this has taught me that everyone is human, because I really idolized my husband. Like, he was on a pedestal for me. He was really like my king. Like, and I think that you could see that in the way that I protected him, and I always made sure things were right for him. And,
Yes.
a lot of women were like, oh, Annie is like this about her husband. But yes, I will be. That is my king. I married him so that, because I felt that he was this human being that deserved to be uplifted by me as a woman. Why else would I marry him? I wouldn't marry someone I look down upon or someone that I don't respect.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah. So, I then learned humanness from this situation. You're a human. You have your weaknesses. You have demons that you're fighting, you know, and that you have to get over. But in a relationship, we can be honest with each other about the battles that we are fighting and the weaknesses that we have, so that we can help make each other stronger. And that's something probably that we lacked, the ability to have honest conversations with each other. So, yeah.
If you can take me there, how bad was the baddest?
Oh. Oof. It's
too bad.
Yeah. It's not something that I really.
Would you say that too bad instance or many instances are the reason you guys haven't reconciled or aren't able to reconcile?
100%.
Sure.
I think how you deal with your battles are very important. And when it gets to an extent where, you know, you are just hurting
perpetually,
someone, like,
yeah,
there's nothing. I really have to fight in my heart to forgive him. Like, fight with myself, you know. And I think it's a battle with myself because I'm also like very spiritual.
Absolutely.
So, and God says you have to forgive.
Sure. All the time.
Everything.
Don't leave anything out.
Right. And I even feel like, okay, there's some things in my life that may not be going well because of my unforgiveness. So now it's like a battle with myself constantly, like, what is it that I can do to release the hurt from my heart? And there's not really, like, you can go to therapy. I'm in therapy. I go to therapy. But, like, it's going to take a lot of time.
Sure.
It's going to take a lot of time. And we've been now, in December, it will be 3 years of our separation. And
Annie, that's a bombshell, because some people think it's probably just a year or something.
Yeah, no, in December it will be 3 years. And I'm still fighting the unforgiveness, you know. So I'm like, they're like, time heals. I'm waiting for time to do its job.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
I'm intrigued where you speak of 3 years of battling with things such as unforgiveness, with emotions that sometimes come with triggers. Because a person who's gone through so much, who's going through such deep emotions still 3 years later, is not the person whom the media says was a gold digger, was in it for money. So it perplexes me that there is a narrative of Annie that, no, she was like this and this and this on TV because she was in it for money.
Yeah.
As you sit across me now, I can sense all the emotions of everything you went through and all the pain that you suffered and are still dealing with.
Yeah.
Did the money contribute to how long you stayed?
You know, the strangest thing is that you must understand that people's narrative of me is they think I came from nothing. Right? Which is not true. My parents are very affluent. They have good jobs. We've had a really good upbringing.
Sure.
There's really nothing that my parents could not give me, you know, as we were growing up. And I was a club dancer because I loved dance.
Sure.
And when I moved to Durban, there was not a platform for me to perform. I moved from the UK. In the UK, dance is an industry. You make real money from it.
Correct,
you know, you can live your life on it.
Sure.
But when I moved to Durban, that was not existing.
Yeah.
And I saw a gap in the market because in the main market clubs, and I think at the time there was like the Society, there was Vogue, even like the Indian clubs, Bellagio, they didn't have dancers, but internationally
it was a thing.
There was a thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, I see a gap in the market. I can use this. And I made a shitload of money. And I made upcoming, like, people who like just need extra money on the weekend or whatever it is, like, they made a shitload of money too. Like with my...
Because of an industry you'd created.
Right. And that's the industry that I created for main market in Durban. It didn't exist before me. So I understand that I am an entrepreneur. And I saw a gap in the market and I took it and I made money from it. And I'm not ashamed of that. You know, I've always been entrepreneurial. I've always known what I want. I've always gone after what I want. When Holo initially met me, actually, he didn't even meet me as a dancer. He met me as someone who owned a promotions agency.
Yes.
He hired my promoters at Vogue, for like the Gru Ladies First, other brands, Smirnoff, like different brands were using my agency. They used my dance agency and my promotions agency. So I didn't come with nothing. I didn't come with an empty mind looking for money. I know how to make my own money in any circumstance. Even if, like now, we've lost our things or whatever you call, like the businesses have shut down or whatever it is, I was still okay. And that's something that people had a problem with. They're like, oh, she's still okay.
She's moving on. She's making money. Khulu's down and out.
Yeah. So they wanted me now to reflect what was happening with my husband. But unfortunately, and also fortunately, I was in a position to keep myself going.
Absolutely.
To take care of my own family.
Yeah.
Because that is the person that I am. You know. Fortunately for me also, my husband had, if there's one thing he did right, is he provided the foundation to ensure that should anything happen to us, I can still take care of myself and our
the kids. Yeah.
So I have been thriving because of that foundation.
Absolutely.
And
which is what a father does. A good father does that.
A good father does that for his kids, you know, and a good husband does that for his wife.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he just could not fulfill the sort of, the
other duties.
The other duties of a husband, but that is something that he got right.
Yeah.
You know, and we are very appreciative for him for. But I have never been a gold digger. I don't need a man to make me money or to give me money or whatever it is. It's a nice bonus. It's cute. You know, you get cute bags and shoes and whatever it is. But bags and shoes are not the bottom line of life. There's a lot of bills. And I think what this experience also taught me was sort of what life really looks like, because Holo shielded me.
Yeah.
I started dating him when I was 24. So I was young. Like, I lived in like my own apartment or whatever it is, but it's like small bills. It's not real life.
Not real.
You know what I mean? It's fun. Now I can spend my money on makeup and whatever it is because it's not a lot. Having kids changes your entire financial outlook because they have to be comfortable.
Absolutely.
They have to be warm. They have to eat. They have to go to school. You know,
entertained.
They have to be entertained.
Yeah.
And so when I left him, it then became about, I need to make sure for my kids. I need to find a safe home for my kids. I need to be able to move around, like get my kids around to school, whatever it is. So now real bills came, you know, and
you did all of this quietly, by the way. It was quiet.
Yes. And I think in that time I was still trying to protect our family.
Yeah.
You know, I really was just trying to just not let anybody in to the extent that they can come and examine our lives and tear us apart, because I needed Holo to get better, but I also needed to get better. So I was just like, let's just move.
Do you feel a lot of mom guilt for what you let happen to and in front of your kids?
I do, and I think that's what makes me a very soft mom at the moment. I was the disciplinarian parent. You know, Holo is very soft with these kids. He's like, he plays around. He's like, how can I say? He's just that he's the fun parent. You know, he's the fun parent. And I used to be the disciplinarian parent. But now I struggle to discipline my kids properly because I just want to be soft with them all the time. Because I feel like they deserve softness. They deserve to be kids. They deserve to run around and play and not worry about anything, you know. My oldest biological daughter.
Yeah.
I feel like she grew up so much over the last year, especially. Like, she's very mature for her age. She just turned 6.
Yeah.
But her emotional maturity is like, it's almost like she takes things on herself. Mommy, are you okay? You know, like she can see when I'm not okay. She comes to have a conversation with me about it. Like her emotional maturity is really good. In the beginning of the year, when we moved to Cape Town, she said, I struggled to tell my kids we're moving to Cape Town, we're not going to see dad that much anymore. But she said, I know that we're not going to see daddy anymore or that much, because we're moving to Cape Town, and it's okay. I love my dad. Can I please see him for at least a week every now and then? I'm like a 6-year-old.
He's negotiating.
Okay. Can I see him for a week, like every now and then? I was like, yes, of course. You are more than welcome to see him, We get them on the phone, like every evening, like just trying to like keep the relationship intact. And she doesn't take sides. She doesn't, she loves her dad with like everything in her, but she also loves me with everything in her. So she's found like this balance, which is, I just found like amazing for someone as little as she is, and who's sort of went through sort of a toxic cycle in her home, that created sort of not a safe environment for her. She's come out of it and blossomed, and just her mindset is so interesting. And it's something that I just blew me away, because I was like, wow, you're so resilient and you're so strong, even at your young age.
Sure.
So yeah, no, it's been interesting, trying to adapt, I can't make up for what has happened, and we can't be a family again as we were. But I think we can see that there is like sort of lights, glimmers.
Yes.
That show that we can sort of
coexist somehow. Yeah.
And that the kids are not as badly affected. They're, like I said, they're very resilient. So yeah.
Were there moments where it was so bad, even during the separation, that you guys were not talking to each other, so the kids were just, they didn't know what is going on?
Yes, they definitely were. I had to also protect my mental health, so part of that was obviously trying to cut off communication as much as possible. So yeah, there were times where we didn't speak for months and months and months. We've only just like sort of started co-parenting properly now this year.
And that too is a journey, because you're still trying to find your feet with how to do it in a healthy manner,
100%.
right? Because you guys know each other as a nucleus family, and now you have to exist with two families.
Yes. But it's been good this far.
Yeah.
I think, he's on a journey of coming back into himself, which is great. And I think his sort of connection with God, and his mindset now is one that he wants to be a better person. So we are able to sort of talk about our kids. Like we don't have to have conversations with the kids all the time, because that's what sort of how we were managing it before everything goes to the kids. Like, you want to talk to your father, here's the phone. Go talk to him. I'm not involved. But now, we obviously have to, my daughter's going to grade 1 next year. We have to decide what school are we going to,
Sure.
how are we going to maneuver it, how are we going to share expenses, sort of the experiences you want your kids to have, what's happening for the holidays. So we have these conversations now. We can have them. I think an interesting part of what's also happening now is that we have moments of where we speak to each other and we reflect a little bit on what's happened. We have never had a full-on conversation like, I feel like this and you felt like this and this is what happened and whatever it is. But sometimes I think you just get into a space where you're like, oh, this is not the ideal world that we would have wanted, for our kids. And there's like sometimes like apologies, like, oh, I'm sorry. And I think that just shows that, there is a road to healing. Not
glimpses, as you say.
Yes. Not necessarily that we're going to get back together, but rather that we can coexist peacefully. So.
At this point, you told me that there are glimpses of healing. You told me that you're struggling with the forgiveness in your heart.
Do you feel that his attempt at being a better person is sincere?
No, man, this is a hard question. This is a hard question because I think that he's genuinely trying for himself.
Which is good.
But I think that because of our emotional relationship, it's not, I don't feel it
I get you.
for myself
Yes.
yet. I can see it peeking through. Like I said, sometimes we had the conversation and we say, this is not where we want it to be. But there's still a lot of healing and like sort of acceptance that we have to go through before I feel like I'm going to say, okay, you are a changed man.
You're running a very successful business right now, a marketing business.
Yeah.
You've re-empowered yourself. You're working with international brands in your business, multinationals in the country as well. And for what you've gone through, it's not easy to rebuild yourself to that point, but you've done it.
Yeah.
Where are you getting your source of strength to continue being this boss lady when it should be acceptable that Annie has fallen off?
Sorry. I could not fall off. I had children that I needed to look after.
Yeah.
And I think that was really it. The fact that I have children who need things from me every single day. You know, I cannot run out of milk. I can't.
And just ignore it.
I can't just ignore it.
Yeah.
I can't run out of apples or, you know, whatever lunch items. It's winter now. We need jackets. We need winter clothes. I can't not make sure that those things are there for my kids. And so I have to work hard to ensure that there is money to get everything that is required.
Yeah.
Also, I want my kids to be comfortable. They need to be in a comfortable home. I don't want them to be in a flat or an apartment because they're used to running around in a garden and whatever it is. So what I want to try and keep the same sort of environment for them, even though it's not the same. I mean, we're not living in a 10 million rand house.
Yeah.
But
By the ocean.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at least like it's got a garden, it's got a pool, there's space for them to run around, space for them to just be kids. And it doesn't feel that different. I think that was something that was very important to me. Just because we are not at home doesn't mean you don't have to feel at home, you know, and I wanted to keep like a similar level of lifestyle for my kids. So it was very important for me to work my ass off, you know,
Same.
to ensure that happens. And that means even through days when you're crying and you're breaking down or whatever, if things need to be submitted, they need to be submitted.
Yeah.
If I need to tap, because marketing is about creativity, right? And
creativity means you should be fine to a certain degree.
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to push through however you're feeling at the time to access that creativity so that you can deliver an amazing campaign.
Sure.
You have to have the will to do the research because marketing is also about research.
Yeah.
You have to stay up late. You just have to push all the feelings aside and say, I need to get this done and do it.
We know a lot of money was lost, a lot of businesses were lost. We know houses and cars were lost. Did you lose people?
Oh no. See, this is the one thing I pride myself on, is the fact that I'm not out here making thousands of friends. I keep my circle tight. My circle has lifted me up. They have held me in such a tight embrace. Even when they knew what was going on in my marriage and I was not ready to let go. No one was forcing me to let go, but they were supporting me. They're like, we know what you're going through. We see it. We are here for whatever reason. You call me 2 a.m. in the morning. You want to come see me. You want to come stay. You want to have the conversation. Whatever it is, I'm here, which was great. And also I have the best parents ever. Ever. They also could see my struggle. They knew what was going on in like my house or whatever it is, but they also knew that they could not force me out. And I think that's a difficult thing as parents, right? When you see that your child is not okay, you want to go and rescue them. But they had to sort of watch from the sidelines until I was ready to come out of my situation. So, and they never made me feel bad about it. They never said, why are you doing this to yourself? Blah, 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 blah. They said, we see it and we are here.
And we love you.
And we love you. And you are more than welcome to leave when you're ready. But know that for whatever instance we are here. Like there are a few times where they've flown down from Cape Town to Durban in like maybe like something happened that was like quite hectic, to come and sit with us and have conversations with us and try to talk us through it, and maybe just be in the house to create a sense of peace
And safety. Yeah.
So they would do that. And yeah, like they just, my parents really were their parents. Like they, when you think about what a parent is supposed to be, that's exactly what they are. You know, and they're really inspiring, because I can only imagine the sort of pain they also felt.
Absolutely. Secondary pain when
Right.
somebody whom you deeply love is going through a traumatic experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they did everything that they needed to do. My siblings also very supportive. But my best friend Echi,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, that person carried me.
Yeah.
And even Sorisha carried me. So I had a really good support system, really good group of friends. That's why I will say I am not your friend if I'm not your friend.
Yeah.
People get offended by that,
Yeah.
but friendship is a real serious thing.
And
it's deep.
Yeah.
You have to go through a lot of people's pain through friendship, and you have to be able to carry it sometimes.
Yeah.
Even when you are not feeling okay yourself,
Sure,
you carry
sure.
someone else, and then those people carry you in return. So yeah, guys, don't feel offended when you're not, people like, oh, you're not my friend. Don't be friends with
Because
people.
because friendship is a huge
It
responsibility.
is.
Yeah.
It's like having a husband,
Yeah.
you know, or being married. It's a very similar thing.
Sure.
So yeah.
There are women out there who don't have this perspective or are not as blessed as you are to have had a community that's stuck with them.
Yeah.
In fact, many people in your position who lived with a lot of money, power, and access, they usually lose people when they no longer have the money, power, access.
This is true.
How do I approach it as a woman who's either currently scared to leave my marriage, or I'm going through a separation or a divorce,
Yeah.
and I'm just scared to leave because I don't even know if I have anybody to catch me as I'm leaving?
Oof, that's very difficult. That's a very difficult space to be in. And in those spaces, it even takes longer to leave. I think I'm so blessed, I can't even imagine what that space looks like. And you really do need people when you are planning to leave your home, your husband, and your life. You need someone who's going to catch you. And if you don't have that, or if people fall away, I don't even know. Like, what do you actually do in that circumstance? You have to be strong on your own. That strength is very hard to access. It's very, very hard to access. But I think one of the things, actually therapy, can I just say, one of the things I did was when I knew that I needed to leave. I was in therapy. I had an amazing therapist, and we planned my exit. We said, okay, you're going to give yourself 6 months to like emotionally reconcile that you are leaving, number one. And then also to make sure that when you leave, you have a safe space that you're going to, and you understand what your next steps are. And those are things you cannot just leave in the middle of the night. You cannot just say, oh, I'm done here, I'm leaving. You can't, because then you're going to fall into, you don't know what your next moves are, which means that it's very likely you're going to go back, you know, because you're going to go back to what comfort is, or habits. But when you know, okay, I've got an apartment, or I've got a space to live, I've got these things in store, I've got cash flow, or whatever it is, to ensure that I can be okay when I leave, it makes leaving a little bit easier. So I think if you're a woman in a position where you need to leave your relationship and you don't have anyone to assist you, use your therapist and use them to be the person who's going to help you, be your support, so that you can plan effectively to make your way out. And, I always feel so bad for people, especially in like abusive relationships. They are often, they're kept in the relationship and they don't have access to the people around them. Normally they're cut off from the people around them. And so when things eventually do fall apart,
You've lost everyone.
You've lost everyone. And you've cut them off
Yourself.
yourself.
Yeah.
And those people, that's why we see women being killed, or women being very hurt, or suffering a lot, because they feel ashamed because they cut you off, but at the same time they needed you. And that shame is what keeps you inside. And when you cannot speak to anybody, you carry the shame like a shield. And you don't now you're just like by yourself holding this, saying, everyone's tried to help me in the situation. I've cut them off. I don't have anywhere to go. I just have to deal with what I'm dealing with. But finding a therapist or like a counselor or just someone like that who can just be on the outside, sort of leading, being a light, I think that's the best way to deal with something like that.
When we started this conversation, we spoke about how silence long enough can allow a negative, wrong stereotype to perpetuate.
Yes.
Why is Annie saying enough is enough today? I'm no longer silent about my struggles and my pains and my power, because I've got power again.
Yes.
You thought it was the end of me. It isn't.
Yeah.
Why am I not silent anymore?
Like I said, I think I've built up the strength now to tell my story. I think there's a lot of women in similar positions who cannot tell their stories because of shame and guilt.
Embarrassment.
Yeah. And I just want to be someone who sort of encourages them. Number one, if you are not happy, you don't have to suffer because of your, you want to have the image out there that you are in a perfect marriage, in a perfect relationship, your home is perfect, everything is perfect. You don't have to suffer through that. That's not a real thing as a human being. And it doesn't last. You're going to take yourself and dig yourself into a very deep hole and you're going to struggle to come out. Do not be quiet. Do not suffer in silence as a woman, because it's very difficult to come out of that silence. And then worse, when you are silent, especially when you're in a relationship with a powerful man, with a man with a lot of money, people obviously decide for you what your motives are. You can have the purest motives, but then someone will say like, oh, you're a gold digger, whatever it is. They don't know what you have been through. So I'm just saying, do not be afraid of people's opinions of you. Do not be afraid of the narratives people build around you. You need to step out and do what it is that you need to do as a person, for yourself and for your kids or your family, but more for yourself. You do not need to stay in silence and struggle and hurt and pain, because you will die there. Literally. There are women. Do you know what I love? There's this Untied series that is currently out right now. And it's a lot of women that we looked up to.
Correct.
And we knew nothing what was going on in their lives.
Correct.
And all of the things, you are shocked.
It's humanized them.
Yes.
They've become human now and relatable.
And we were shocked by what we heard about their struggles, what they've been through.
Yeah.
You don't have to carry that. They even, when you're in that space of trying to hide your struggles and trying to piece together a life that is not real, you end up losing the realness in your life. Like, you cannot, like, I couldn't work effectively when I was in my house, right? Because the emotional, what's the word? Like turmoil.
Yeah.
It was too much.
It was excessive. Yeah.
Yeah. And I couldn't think straight, and I couldn't behave properly, and
you couldn't focus.
I couldn't focus.
Yeah.
And then you see like a lot of these women, they go into a period where their careers dip.
Yeah.
You know,
or they become non-existent.
Yeah. And then only after they've gone back and found their power, found a way to come out of it, then you'll see them rise again. And like women who go through difficult marriages, we have to fight society's way of thinking. because they think as a woman, you must struggle enough for us to see it, for it to be valid that you should be able to leave your marriage. But that's bullshit, because you don't know what I'm dealing with.
Yeah. The intricacies of what I'm dealing with.
And now I must show you my pain for you to validate it, for you to make it okay for me to leave. Like, we don't have to do that anymore. I just want to break that narrative. I want you to know that you are valuable as a woman, and that you should be able to be happy in life, and you should be able to leave things behind that no longer serve you. You know, men do that all the time. Men pick themselves first. As soon as a woman cheats on a man is gone. He never stays through the cheating, but we will stay through the cheating. You know?
Not even when a woman does something. Sometimes a man will be so selfish that when he wants something that could ruin the marriage, he'll still do it.
Yes. So they always pick themselves first. We need to start picking ourselves first.
Yeah.
Well. We need to put ourselves first. We need to value ourselves as well. We need to see ourselves as important people in our lives. We cannot be shaped by our marriages. We cannot be shaped by our husbands and our husbands' needs and dreams and wants. We have to sort of be our own people and know what works for us, because you are born alone. You will die alone. Your life is actually about you. You are the main character. You must pick up that main character energy and make sure that everything in your life aligns to what aligns to you.
Yeah.
You cannot live for someone else. You cannot live for someone else's happiness. You cannot live for someone else's comfort at the expense of your own.
When nearing the end of our conversation, you've obviously had to pivot your life so much, and you are now at a different stage than where you were a few years ago. How does the next few years look like, or what is the vision, and where are we intentionally trying to go?
I think for me, it's just about scaling my business. I think that's something that's very important to me. It's something that I'm currently working on. Pardon me. It's about growth. I need to stabilize myself so that I can stabilize my kids. So I'm going to start from scratch. I have to repurchase a house, repurchase cars. I want to put my kids into the best schools that I can put them into. I want to make sure that I regain what I have lost.
Yeah.
And on my terms, for myself. I don't need a man to come and assist me on this. I feel like I'm at a point where I'm like, I'm going to get everything for myself, sort my kids out, make sure our lives are consistent and stable. And then when I eventually am in a relation, well, I am in a relationship, but I mean, when I'm in a relationship that's leading towards marriage, I know that everything that I want or everything that I need, I can
Do for yourself.
do for myself.
Sure.
Which means that there's nothing that you can do for me except for make me happy.
Sure.
And
you can't hold me hostage for basic needs.
No.
Yeah.
Your job now is to make me happy.
It's to love me.
And to love me
and
properly.
respect me.
100%.
Yeah. Last but not least.
Okay.
What's that one thing in life you know for sure and you're absolutely certain of?
Woo! I know for sure that people are human. We all have our, weaknesses. And what I can be certain of is that you will find someone who, even in their weakness, you are still able to be strong. Their weaknesses are not going to overcome the light that is in your life. And you guys can create light together. So I think it's just about knowing that people are human and knowing that you will find your human, certainly.
In this conversation, I learned that something as sacred and deep as marriage, if you involve the public sometimes, it makes it even more messier. But Annie taught me that there is a purpose in being silent so that you're able to fix your life, sort things out in a healthy manner. And there was also a level of accountability and responsibility that Annie took, that the toxicity wasn't just in one direction. It came in both directions. So it's important that in situations, relationships, love, friendships, we take accountability and responsibility for the things we did too
that were wrong. Annie, continue staying in your power,
Thank you.
in your healing, and your relationship with God. It's very evident that there's a woman here who's so in love with God.
Oh, thank you.
The show is Engineer Your Life, and I'm Lungelo KM. I'll see you on the next episode.